sir, you're in the wrong parking point.
I've crossed it already, I can go to the front.
You're not allowed in there.
So what is the ASL? It stands, as you can see, for the Advanced Stop Line, and it's commonly referred to as the Cyclist Box. Some people think it has some magical powers. Some people think it's a force field. Some people think it is a parking spot, and some people think it is a cash machine, a cash cow. But it's neither of those. It's simply a space where cyclists can stop and resume cycling from a theoretically safer position, because traffic is behind you when you're a cyclist in a cyclist box, and you can see, well, they can see you, and because of that, they'll watch out for you, I guess. On a bicycle, slow means wobbly, and when you're wobbly, you don't want to be overtaken, so being in the middle of the road when you start is a good idea, so no one tries to overtake you. Then obviously you move to the side and let everybody pass. I guess that's the idea behind the cycle box. So the ASLs consist of the number of elements. The most important one is the cyclist happy zone, where no one apart from cyclists is allowed. So in a happy zone, there is no trucks allowed, there is no buses allowed, there is no cars allowed, there is no motorcycles allowed, and there is no mopeds allowed. The cyclist happy zone is surrounded by two stop lines. The first one, the super powerful line that stops all the traffic, including cyclists, from going through the red light. No one can pass it. Literally, it's like a brick wall. Just like the other one, because the other very powerful stop line marks the end of the, well, or the beginning, depending how you look at it, of the cyclist happy zone, and no traffic cannot cross it neither. To get into the happy zone, cyclists need to use something called a feeder lane. So notice the dashed line around the feeder lane that marks a way where you can just go into it and through the feeder lane into the cyclist box. So the name kind of suggests there is food somewhere to be served, but do not count on that. The feeder lane just basically feeds the happy zone with cyclists instead. So let's discuss a couple of examples of what is legal, what is not. So obviously, as I said, in a car you cannot cross the stop line. You cannot cross the stop line on a bicycle neither. Then obviously you cannot, well, that's the whole idea behind the ASL. You're not allowed to go in a car in them, so you cannot cross the other stop line. So all we talked about apply to the red light, and if the light is green, the cyclist box loses all its powers, and suddenly everyone is allowed in a cyclist box. Of course, motorists should avoid going in it if it's obvious that they will not be able to clear it before the light changes. So try not to block it in a car. There is a car ahead of you, you know you're not gonna cross the light, why blocking it? It's legal, but it's a little bit dickery, you know what I mean? Just don't do it. On a motorbike, obviously, the traffic is no problem. So 99.9% of the time, the motorbike can just go. It's nothing wrong in it. So I had it under one of my videos. Someone told me, "Oh, you couldn't enter the ASL because there was a car ahead and it was blocking your way." No, it wasn't. I'm on a motorbike. I can filter. I can go through that traffic like. Yeah. Anyway, I'm digressing again. What happens if you're driving down the road and the light suddenly changes to amber? Some cyclist legal experts will immediately quote following sentence from the ASL rules. Motorists, including motorcyclists, must stop at the first white line reached if the lights are amber or red. And before we go to discuss that, let's see what amber means according to the highway code. What it says, amber means stop at the stop line. You may go on only if the amber appears after you have crossed the stop line or are so close to it that pull up might cause an accident. Yeah, get it? Just stop if it's safe to do so. So, is there a contradiction here? Is ASL more powerful than the normal stop line? No, of course it's not. ASL is just a double, stop line. It's just two stop lines, one after another. So the rules are basically the same. Safety first. No one is expected to stop instantly or dangerously on the amber light. So do not do it. Don't do it. Just stop safely. And if that means entering ASL, well, that's fucking shit, you know what I mean? You have to go in, you go in. That's it. So let's have a look at the Met Police website. So they also confirm and they quote the Highway Code Rule 187 that says if your vehicle proceeded over the first white line at the time that the signal goes red, you must stop at the second white line, even if your vehicle is in the marked area. What Met Police also states very clearly is that quoting, we do not want motorists to wrongly believe that they shouldn't stop in the ASL box under any circumstances. This might cause some panic, drive through a junction and cause an accident. It seems pretty straightforward, right? It's not a difficult rule to learn. However, I have some clips to show you how a person of authority, a PCSO, how well he's educated on the case. So let's have a look, shall we?
What is that?
For stopping on this cycle box?
Actually, I did enter the box on a green light.
No. What are the green light or red light? You can't stop here.
No, that's not true. You have to learn the law, sir. It's not true. Hello?
That's for you?
Thank you.
Pardon?
I'm alright, thank you.
No, you take it.
No, I don't need to take that.
You don't need to stop here.
If you read this leaflet, I've read this leaflet, it says that I am allowed to enter this on a green light or if I cannot stop safely.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. So I will link those clips at the end of the video so you can watch both of them, in full. But I just want to state, do not let any ignorant PCSO or any misinformed cyclist to bully you with their simplified version of the ASL rules, okay? By the way, that is the same PCSO on both occasions, while videos were about a month apart or something like that. So it's very worrying that he was misinforming public for so long. This sort of thing just undermines the Met Police stand on the issue, and it may cause some panic reactions from drivers that he was talking to, you know what I mean? They may just worry about it. I hope the PCSO shoulder number ST7712 has been retrained since, I hope so. And I also hope this was just a single misinformed PCSO and that he does not represent the level of training they all receive, but I can only hope. Going back to the stopping when you see amber, thankfully there have been some studies regarding the stopping distances, and what they show is that the reaction time to something like light change is about half to 3/4 of a second, and that's just to recognize the need to act. Before your muscles actually move your foot and the brake starts to work, another 3/4 of a second will pass. This means that it may take about a second and a half to actually start braking. If you're traveling at 30 miles per hour, it translates to something like 44 feet, which is 13.4 meters of travel before you actually start braking. And then when, depending on a car's stopping ability, the braking distance from 30 miles per hour, which is about 50 kilometers per hour, a bit less, will extend the travel distance by additional 45 feet, which is 13.7 meters. So the overall stopping distance is 89 feet or 27 meters. And that is for perfect conditions. That is about 6 car lengths. That's how far you have to be away from the first stop line from the ASL to effectively stop before it. Yeah, that's something to think about, right? So additional things to consider when braking is required. So you have to think about things like the road conditions. So that there may be gravel, there may be some diesel on the road that will kind of make your braking less effective. There might be water after rain. There may be some ice, some snow, even potholes can affect it. So think about those things. Oh, you may have some new tires. New tires, especially on a motorbike, are very slippery. So they will definitely, you have to increase your stopping distance for sure. So additionally, and that's very important, you have to know what's going on behind you. You can't just slam your brakes, because if you have a tailgater on you, that may end very badly. So remember, safety first. As I was saying, do not be afraid to stop in ASLs. Try to avoid it, but if you cannot stop safely, just don't accelerate through ASL. Don't brake hard. Just accept that you will end up in it and just stop there. There's nothing wrong with it. It is quite important to know that once you are in the ASL, the law clearly states that you are clear to go all the way to the main stop line, well, the second stop line, however you look at it. So sorry cyclists, but once a car crosses the first line, they can go all the way. I would personally say that if you are in a car, just don't go all the way. Stay where you have stopped, because you want to be nice. You want to still give space to cyclists. Why to be a dick? Just give them the space. However, if you're on a motorbike, then definitely stop as close to the second line as possible. Why not? And basically you're helping yourself and you're helping them. You will be in much better position to take off without additional danger of overtaking any cyclist. So go for it, I would say. So how about being fined for stopping in the ASL? Well, again, from the Metropolitan Police website, any police constable, and we have to be particular here, not a PCSO, so don't worry about them, who witnesses an ASL offense taking place can enforce it and must provide evidence that they witnessed. And there are 3 things that they have to evidence: the front of the vehicle has crossed the stop line, the moment the traffic lights changed, and that the traffic lights were all working. Yeah. If the officer sees the vehicle in the zone without witnessing all 3 of the above, then there is no prospect of prosecution against a burden of proof of beyond reasonable doubt. So just to summarize, remember, try not to stop in ASLs by basically looking out for them. Be cool about entering them with the knowledge that you have gained by watching this video. I hope it will be much less stressful for you and you'll not worry about it anymore. PCSOs cannot ticket you. Police officers are unlikely to do that unless you really take a piss. If you actually get a ticket for it, you can use a Rule 187 as your defense when challenging the ticket. Remember all the things that I've told you about that could have caused you to stop like you did. And finally, if you found this video useful, like and share it. comment, subscribe for more videos to come. I plan to do the ASL theory versus reality video soon. And if you want to see the full clips of the PCSO versus bikersPOV, I included in this video the links. I'll put them on the video. So click the boxes with the thumbnails, but remember the annotations, the feature in YouTube has to be turned on for that. As always, drive and ride safe. See you in my next videos.